Cardi B has drawn a line in the sand, and this time, it doesn't look like she's stepping back. What's unfolding between her and Stefon Diggs isn't just gossip, it feels like a countdown. For children in a single year. Whispers of betrayal echoing from every corner of the internet. And now, what sounds like a last and final ultimatum hanging in the air. This isn't just messy, it's explosive. It's unpredictable. And no one can quite see where it ends. Celebrity headlines come and go, sure. Chaos is practically currency online. But this feels heavier. We're watching one of the biggest forces in music possibly gamble her heart while millions refresh their feeds in real time. Every glance, every lyric, every emoji dissected. Rumors multiply by the hour, and the tension between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs feels like a storm building pressure. So let's slow it down and really look at what's brewing, because right now, the temperature is rising fast. First, the groundwork. Cardi B and Stefon Diggs are publicly linked. They share a baby boy, affectionately nicknamed Touchdown, his real name still shielded from the spotlight. And yes, before the comment sections explode, Cardi B remains legally tied to Offset. The divorce is underway. Documents filed. Signatures pending. But technically, she's still married while stepping into something new, and that alone adds fuel to the fire. Now here's where the story turns complicated. Stefon Diggs has been surrounded by claims that he welcomed 4 children within a single year. 4. Let that sink in. Online chatter suggests Cardi's son may have been the latest in that timeline. When it comes to loyalty, the optics aren't exactly clean. And then came the moment that sent social media into overdrive. According to the growing buzz, Cardi B didn't whisper her expectations, she declared them. The warning was sharp and unmistakable: betray me, and we're finished. Another pregnancy outside this relationship? It's over. No grace period. No emotional appeals. No late-night explanations designed to untangle the damage. Just a hard stop. Insiders whisper that she made it painfully clear there would be zero confusion about where she stands. If any woman steps forward claiming that Stefon Diggs fathered her child after they committed to each other, Cardi B won't argue, won't negotiate, won't hesitate. She'll walk. Clean. Immediate. Final. This isn't a vague warning tossed into the wind, it's a boundary carved in stone. And whether you love her or criticize her, that level of certainty commands attention. But here's the tension no one can ignore. Can a boundary this bold actually survive reality? Cardi B isn't naive. She didn't wander into this blindfolded. She knows the narrative that follows Stefon Diggs. She's seen the headlines scroll past. She's heard the quiet rumors, the loud accusations, the comment sections that never sleep. None of this is new information to her. She chose this knowing the history. In her own way, it's almost like she's saying, your past is yours, but from this moment forward, everything changes. It sounds powerful. It sounds decisive. It even sounds romantic, the idea that someone can rewrite their story if given one real chance. And yet, that's exactly where uncertainty begins to creep in. Online speculation paints an even more complicated picture. Some whispers claim Cardi B and Stefon Diggs were connected long before the public ever caught on. There are murmurs suggesting their story may have begun while she was still expecting her daughter, long before any official reveal. If that's true, then the fresh start narrative suddenly feels less pure, less untouched. A clean slate only works if the past isn't already written in invisible ink, and then there's the pattern people can't stop dissecting. Throughout their time together, multiple women have allegedly hinted at private encounters with Stefon Diggs. Not just the mothers of his children, others, too, stepping forward with stories of their own. Now, could some of it be exaggeration? Absolutely. The internet rewards attention, and clout can be a powerful motivator. But when similar claims keep surfacing from different directions, it becomes harder to ignore. At some point, repetition stops sounding random. Because if history has taught us anything, it's that smoke rarely rises without something burning underneath. And lately, this relationship hasn't just produced a spark, it's looked like a wildfire waiting for wind. Here's the reality that complicates everything. Stefon Diggs isn't an ordinary man navigating an ordinary life. He's a high-profile athlete, successful, wealthy, recognized everywhere he goes, and yes, undeniably charismatic. He operates in a world where admiration is nonstop and temptation doesn't knock, it lingers. That doesn't mean loyalty is impossible. Many athletes build stable, lasting partnerships despite the spotlight. But when someone carries a public history of allegedly juggling multiple women and welcoming several children within a short window of time, betting on an overnight transformation feels risky, and this is where fantasy collides with truth. Real evolution doesn't happen because someone draws a boundary. It doesn't happen out of fear or pressure or the threat of losing love. People change only when they confront themselves, when they decide, privately and honestly, that growth matters more than impulse. Authentic transformation isn't forced from the outside. It begins quietly, internally, with a choice to become better than yesterday. The question hanging over all of this is simple. Has Stefon Diggs actually shown proof of that kind of inner shift? Not promises, not public smiles, not carefully crafted captions. Real evidence of change. Because in the end, that's the only thing that counts. I genuinely hope they find clarity, especially for their little boy. A child deserves stability, respect, and parents who can build peace, whether they stand side by side or choose separate paths. If Cardi B's ultimatum becomes the wake-up call that pushes Stefon to rise into the partner she's demanding, that would be a powerful redemption arc to witness. But honesty, I'm cautious. History has a habit of repeating itself, especially when the lessons weren't fully learned. And Steven's track record echoes loudly in the background of this love story. Cardi B is placing a high-stakes bet, offering him the chance to silence every critic, to prove that loyalty isn't beyond him, to show the world he can be disciplined, devoted, and different. The deeper issue isn't whether he can change. It's whether he genuinely wants to "Oh, now I'm turning it over to you." Is Cardi B stepping boldly into love, or walking straight toward heartbreak? Can Stefon Diggs truly rewrite his narrative, or is this ultimatum just a ticking clock? Drop your thoughts below. Do you believe this boundary will hold firm, or eventually collapse under pressure? I'll see you in the next one.
He allegedly warned Stefon Diggs if he cheats, she's gonna leave him. So you had a close source to Cardi B basically saying that Cardi warned Stefon Diggs, told Stefon basically, man, look, you ain't gonna be out here cheating on me. I'm not going through the same thing I went through with Offset, right? You also had the source saying Cardi B knew what she was getting into with Stefon Diggs. She knows his reputation for getting with a lot of joints. She claims Stefon hasn't been doing him since they got together. She also, this is coming from the source that's close to him, right? They said that she likes Stefon because he's a father who's in his kid's life, like, you know, he's present in his kid's life. So basically this source is saying Stefon basically already been warned not to be out here making her look bad or cheat on her, things like that. So it looks like Stefon has one strike, it seems, with Cardi B.
I don't know if Cardi B honestly realizes the situation she's in. Stefon Diggs is a known womanizer, right? The proof is in last year, in which he has 3 or 4 newborns within months apart, right? Which is clearly a red flag in itself, right? Because that means that this man was sleeping with multiple women around the same time. I actually wonder if people worry about STDs anymore, but I digress. So he had multiple babies within a year, multiple baby mamas, but the only known one for real is Cardi, right? Cardi B is a celebrity. She's the one in the spotlight. And I feel like Cardi B thinks because she's Cardi B that she's different in this situation, and she's not. Like, I don't know if they're in a relationship. I think she's called him her man, but anyways, if they are in a relationship, you really think you're being faithful, girl? And it's like, who am I to tell a grown woman whether or not she made the right decision? But I just be like, Cardi, man, he was just supposed to be for fun. He was supposed to be for a good time, not a long time. I think people be forgetting how permanent babies are and kids are. It's not just until they're 18 that you're going to be tied to this person, right? You're going to be tied with them for life. And now he has multiple other women that he has to deal with for life, as well as Cardi. So what makes her think that she's different? I don't know. Child, I don't know how this is going to end, but I don't think it's going to be well.
Cardi B has put her foot down, and she has set the bar high when it comes to her and Stefon Diggs. Yes, sir. See, Cardi B had a baby with Stefon Diggs November 2025. He had 3 others in 2025 with 3 other women. So she has come forward and said, there better not be another baby coming out since we've been official. And going forward, he better not be cheating, and he better not bring another baby. I love the standards that she has given this guy. It's great. So, Stefon Diggs, I know you're going to the Super Bowl. You can bring home a ring. You can bring home the championship, but under no circumstance will you bring home another baby. Because if you do, she's going to break up with you. It will be over. Good luck, sir. I hope you can keep it together.
I'm tired of y'all pretending like Cardi B and Stefon Diggs is a real relationship. This is not a real relationship, okay? It's obvious they was messing around. The pregnancy was by accident and they was doing fake boyfriend, girlfriend stuff, and now they in way too deep because Cardi B do not want to be embarrassed. Meanwhile, Stefon Diggs out here, he got a BBL chef. He probably got a BBL assistant, a BBL president of his companies and whatever. And I'm not the biggest Cardi B fan or anything like that, but I do kind of feel a little bit bad for her because I'm like, girl, why are you putting yourself through this? This man has 100,599 baby mamas. But at the same time, you can't really feel bad for her. Obviously, this is just a self-respect thing at this point. At this point, we can't even help her. I think she's just in so deep. She feels like she needs to have a perfect family or a man or show that she moved on from Offset or whatever. But girl, get some therapy.